Welcome to When Students Use AI. Is it cheating or learning? A HyFlex approach to ethical AI integration. Hello, I'm Jean Samuel. I'm an HLC advisor, and this presentation was created with the aid of ChatGPT from OpenAI, Gemini from Google, and Claude from Anthropic. There are two parts of my presentation. Each is a separate presentation. Part 1, providing the foundation, and Part 2 is the application or practical strategies of AI use to promote ethical learning behavior. In Part 1, I will present the case for AI use in the classroom. We'll start with a poll, then the shifting role of AI in the classroom, a case for transparent AI integration, and then, of course, the ever-popular questions and answers. When students use ChatGPT or similar generative AI resources for coursework, what is your first instinct? A, it's cheating. B, it depends on how they use it. C, it's the future, embrace it. And D, I'm still trying to figure it out. These are the results I anticipate. A typical group of HyFlex educators are going to select option B. We're already comfortable with context-dependent learning. Let's take a look at the other distributions. Option A, smaller but vocal minority. They represent faculty who've seen egregious AI misuse. They've come from disciplines where foundational skills are not negotiable. They're often the most concerned voices in the faculty meetings, but HyFlex educators tend to be more progressive, so this will be a smaller percentage than the general faculty audience. Option C, significant but not majority. They're going to attract the early adopters and tech-forward educators. HyFlex communities often include innovators, but many still have reservations about fully embracing without guardrails. And option D, honest uncertainty. It reflects educators who recognize that they need to address AI, but they haven't figured out their approach yet. There's a shift in education from restricting AI use to AI-supported learning. This presentation focuses on actively teaching ethical, transparent AI collaboration. In short, the shift is from students learning with AI, not from AI. When integrating AI in learning, emphasize critical engagement, metacognitive reflection, and academic integrity. Use structured activities to promote digital literacy and reduce misuse. Multimodal flexibility supports diverse AI integration strategies and leads to sustainable practices as well as authentic student learning. Traditionally, student use of AI is perceived to be inherently dishonest. We're moving to the new reality. Student use of AI is context dependent. In the case where it's academic dishonesty, people think you're outsourcing your thinking, bypassing learning objectives, that it's an unfair advantage. When considering context determining ethics, we're talking about a professional world that expects AI literacy. Students are already using it with or without our permission. And finally, it's a skill that's not about avoiding AI, it's about using it wisely. So what's the role of AI and the students? Students are expected to show increased confidence when using AI when they understand its role is to support, not replace, their thinking. If conducted correctly, students should realize that ChatGPT doesn't have to provide answers or only answers. It can also offer questions that students don't think to ask. Think of the adage to trust but verify. So you need to challenge AI. Students should be less likely to copy AI output verbatim when they're taught to challenge it. Activities that position AI as a case study subject, for example, is this advice sound, should be particularly effective. For example, one activity that you might have the students do is to design a lesson where ChatGPT plays the role of a nutritionist, and they interact with ChatGPT to debunk or verify its claims using academic sources. I have a new hobby. I'm writing novels. I'm currently writing cozy mysteries, believe it or not. Anyway, I've gotten into the habit of using ChatGPT as my writing partner. And there's a lot of question and answers and back and forth, and I bounce ideas and say, how does this sound? And it's been working out very well for me. So conversational AI interactions, here's an example. When I was doing research for this paper and this presentation, I asked ChatGPT, what would stop someone from using AI to write a reflection? GPT's answer was, practically speaking, not much. If the reflection is pure text-based and doesn't require personal and experiential depth, it's very easy to offload that to AI. That's why designing for authenticity is crucial. ChatGPT then offered me some examples of authentic assessments for required reflections, and I put that in Appendix A of the paper. I'm going to talk now about the case for transparent AI integration. Benefits of ethical AI training are that it moves students away from using AI as an effort replacement. It enhances thinking versus replacing it. Think passive learning, if that's learning at all. How many of you have fallen into that robotic search, copy, paste, without even thinking about or revising what you were working on? Students become more self-aware about when to trust AI, when to question it, and how to improve their own cognitive processes. The classroom tone shifts from "don't get caught" to "let's do this right" when we use logs to document AI use. Integrating AI into the HyFlex classroom is seamless. It empowers thoughtful context-based decision-making. It's easy to integrate reflection logs, version tracking, or peer review in any mode. Students choose when, how, and if they're going to use AI, mirroring real-world decisions. It encourages collaboration, discussion, and shared evaluation of AI use. What is a classroom that has transparency? Students are explicitly encouraged to use ChatGPT, for example, and similar tools. If they use the tools, they have to document how they use it. These artifacts are not assessed for accuracy alone, but also for evidence of critical engagement and ethical awareness. Design opportunities for metacognitive reflection where students actively assess how they're using AI, what they're learning from it, and learn how it supports or hinders their understanding. This slide is a very basic example of how you might use an AI log template. The student provides the name of the assignment, the specific prompts they use, for example, what they asked AI, and then what did AI provide? That's the summary of responses. How did they verify? What sources were consulted? What kind of critical thinking was applied? They talk about what they learned, and about the topic, and about using AI, and what they might do differently next time, and that's the reflection for improvement part. This is just one example of making the use of AI transparent. Ethics in AI education is a growing concern. Consensus seems to be that one of the greatest risks is not the misuse of AI, but the underdevelopment of ethical use frameworks. Focus on underdeveloped frameworks, not AI misuse. Which takes us right back to the beginning. The message that students get in the classroom is, use AI and you're cheating, don't use it and you'll be fine. This black and white approach doesn't really match the reality that we live in. AI is seamlessly embedded into daily tools and platforms. Digital literacy scholars and AI researchers emphasize that we need to have participatory media skills. Students must not only learn how to consume information critically, but to understand how the digital tools like AI produce them. So some questions and next steps are, how likely are you to implement AI transparency strategies? What's your biggest remaining concern? What resource would be the most helpful? Hopefully part 2 of this presentation will be of use. Part 2 of this presentation is what would ChatGPT do? It's about training students to learn with AI without cheating. The conference paper, rather than being an academic paper, is more in the form of a handbook, and I hope that you'll find it useful. The goal is to offer strategies and teaching ethical AI use in the classroom, replacing cheating with learning. Again, I'm Dr. Jean Samuel. I'm part of the HyFlex Learning Community. My email is on the slide. Feel free to email me. Do put all caps in the subject line so that I don't miss your very important message. Thank you again, and have a great rest of the conference.